And how's it going, YouTube? Josh, No Quarter Given Gaming here, and I know some of you are probably going to be looking for an E3 video. Don't worry, it's coming. I just wanted to get this out first. Before I start playing this at all, and some of you might know what this is, it's an older game. I just want to say all of our thoughts and prayers are with the victims in Orlando. It kind of hit close to home for a couple of us, and it was a tragedy. And anyone who's been around this channel long enough knows that I've made a gun violence rant video before, and I don't like doing it. But all of you know we don't just play games on this channel. We do talk about a lot of different subjects, and unfortunately this is one that keeps getting brought up. I am going to try and remain as minimally biased as possible in talking about what happened and how I feel. A lot of you know I do own firearms. I support the Second Amendment. I support everyone in this country's right to be able to defend themselves, because everyone has that right. Everyone. And I'm not saying having guns in a nightclub is a fantastic idea, especially when there's alcohol or anything around, but as an experienced shooter and as a trained shooter, I can't help but think that 2 or 3 people concealed carrying in that nightclub could have made a difference. Not saying they would have, but something could have been done. And it sucks. And it's I don't have words. It's been, a week since it happened, and I've tried to process everything and go over all of the details that have been released, and trying to get as good information as I can on everything without, getting biased information, because it doesn't matter where you get your news sources from, CNN, Fox News, Breitbart, Reddit, there's going to be bias, and it's picking out the fact from the garbage. And one thing that can't be denied is that it was radical Islamic terrorism. This wasn't your everyday, disgruntled ex-employee that decided he wanted to go shoot up, his place of business. This was someone who had a deep-seated hatred for a group of people's way of life that they have no control over. And that's perfectly fine with me. If you're gay, well, you're gay. Go get a gun, protect yourself. You need to, especially in this day and age. I'll help train you. If you know me, I have no problem with it. I was raised Southern Baptist, but I was also raised to be accepting. And it's not my place to judge anybody, and quite frankly, I don't care. Whatever you do in public or in your bedroom is between you and whatever you believe in. Cthulhu, for all I care. But that's not the point. The point is, it was terrorism. It was radical Islamic terrorism. And, it needs to stop. And for just a quick little recap of this game is called Thomas Was Alone. And it honestly is a game that I play a lot just to decompress. It's got some of the best voiceover work ever. And it's just a simple little puzzle platformer that I can play for hours. And a lot of the voiceover is hilarious. But But getting back to Orlando, you have both sides of the coin. Conservatives and liberals are literally chewing each other apart over this situation. I lost 2 friends on Facebook because of basically just being a gun owner, and I was blamed for it, basically. They said, well, if you weren't fighting so hard for everyone's rights, and, you know, this guy had been investigated by the FBI, and he should have never had access to guns, and, well, I don't know if I can agree with that. We have due process in this country. You are innocent until proven guilty. And he was questioned by the FBI 3 times. And he was released 3 times. The Sig Sauer MCX that he bought was bought legally. He went through a NICS background check. He went through the waiting period. None of the laws we have right now on the books stop this. And to me, that just proves that you can't legislate away evil. There are going to be bad people in this world. And unfortunately, it's a reality that we all have to live with. The world isn't some safe little bubble that only revolves around you. This stuff happens. And it's terrible when it does. But it's a reality we all face. And I wish I had the answer to tell, people what to do about it and how to prepare. But I can't, because I only know how to prepare the way I can. And that's, I wake up every morning, get dressed, and put my gun on my hip. In the event that something catastrophic happens. Unfortunately, some people don't. And they pay the ultimate sacrifice. And I wish it didn't happen. And I'm not saying that I want Americans to not be able to protect themselves. I'm not going to cave to some ridiculous legislation because some senators feel like it's not the right of the people for them to defend themselves. That's not the case. And it's not your job to rely on someone else to protect you. It's not the government's job. It's not the police force's job to protect you. The police force respond and report. They don't prevent. And sometimes that's hard for some people to hear or even understand. Because they feel the police are there, to serve them. Well, they are. They protect and serve, but, well, that's their motto, but they really don't. Heavy police presence doesn't really affect crime. And it doesn't really affect crime rates. I mean, look at Chicago. Chicago has a very large police force. And yet, gang violence in Chicago is one of, if not the worst in the country. So, I don't know how you fix it. I don't. I wish I had an answer. I honestly don't think excuse me. I honestly don't think banning Muslims from the country is the answer either. I know a few, and they're perfectly normal individuals. They lead normal American lives. They love this country. They came here to get away from the violence they were experiencing in their home country. So I don't know. But what I do know is taking away our rights isn't it. Restricting free speech, taking away, you know, the right to bear arms, that's not how you do it. That's not how you make this country safer. And I know this video isn't perfect, and it's not very well organized, honestly, but it's emotional. This is my problem with the way this country works, with everything. I don't understand why this keeps happening. I'm not an expert. But being bigots and saying that this is only the Muslims' fault, and this is only the fault of Islam, I can't get behind that. I can't. And I know some people can, and I can't change their views. But treating everyone like an enemy isn't the way to do it.